Hello everyone, welcome to our van tour.
This is our 2002 GMC Savana van. Inside of our van, we did everything ourselves, and it took us, how long do you think it took us?
I don't know,
6 months?
6 months?
Yeah,
9
so everything
months?
you see in here is everything that we did ourselves. So now we will show you what the inside looks like. This is where we keep like all of our odds and ends, our camping gear, our cooking gear. So we kind of made this really tall. It goes all the way to the top of the van, and then it goes all the way to the bottom.
So the next section here is our sink, and we bought this whale hand pump.
Right here.
You know, you just pump it out like that a couple times and the water comes out. We're not going to waste our water because we only have so much of it. And then the bowl is a stainless steel salad bowl that we found at a store.
We just drilled out a big enough hole, and then you can go to like hardware stores and they actually have the fittings for the sink. So you can just, they're like $10, you just buy the fittings.
Yeah, so open it up and we'll show you what the tanks are.
That's the inside. You can see there's 3 tanks here, 1, 2, and 3. So 2 of them are for fresh water, and then 1 of them is for the disposable water, the gray water.
And you'll see here, this is just a fitting that we bought.
Right,
attaches to the bottom of the salad bowl. Yeah, we just cut that to fit, and then it drains right into the wastewater.
we just put this hose in here, and then it'll pump in.
Yeah, so it just connects to the bottom of the hand pump there. And that's our water system.
So we have a food cabinet that we made as well. So here's our cabinet that we put all of our food in. So we usually put like all of our spices on the top. We have rice and pasta in the back there. And then we have like our utensils that we use. We have, sometimes you can put food on top of here. We have our vegetable soup that we always make. And then we have another bucket of food in the bottom.
So yeah, that's our food cupboard. And I'll show you a little peek.
When we made our van, we knew we wanted seats that we can sit in outside of our bed. So this one is where I usually sit.
Why don't you show us where you put your clothes?
So if you come down here, you just lift up, and then you have this little leg here.
So this is where Ricky keeps her clothes. It's just like the little space in between the 2x4s in the bed. I think it's like a few inches.
So that seems to work really well for us, having my clothes under there. It saves a lot of space. And then underneath where I was sitting, there's this big cabinet, and we'll show you what's inside.
So in here is my clothes. I have packing cubes that are in there, and they fit the space perfectly. We knew what the size of this cabinet was, and then I bought packing cubes that fit perfectly in there. So we switched sides.
I'm in Brandon's spot.
On my bench seat.
Yeah, so he wanted to make it long enough that he could like lounge here.
Yeah.
So he gets the lounger.
So I get the lounger. It's nice. I sit there and work a lot.
So there's 2 cabinets under the seat. So the first one is where our batteries are.
So these are solar batteries. We have 2 6-volt AGM batteries. It's 220 amp hours total, and that's, you can only use 50% of that. So we have 110 amp hours of battery. You see everything's all wired up. You wire the batteries in series, and then it makes it a 12 volt. And then here we have the fuses and our switch to turn power on and off from the inverter. So that's the batteries. It's a quick overview. And then the other side here. So in this cabinet we have
Solar charge controller.
Here, our inverter here, and a fuse box over there. So the charge controller takes in the power coming from the solar panels on the roof and then charges the batteries. The inverter that we have is a 1500 watt Ames power inverter, and it's also an inverter charger. So if we plug in, we can also charge our batteries with it as well. So it has a built-in charger. And then you'll see the fuse box over there, and that is the wiring for our lights and our fans mostly go into there. And yeah, this was kind of a mess to wire it all, but I figured it all on my own, and we plan on giving you a tour in the future if you want to learn how to put solar in your van.
We put this in because you can charge like a USB charger. It draws less power, I would say.
So this is just connects to the battery, so it's not using the inverter, so you'll save a little power if you don't want to turn the inverter on to charge things.
There's a...
Yeah, we have a 12-volt socket and two USBs, and then if you flip the switch, it tells you what your voltage is. But we just use this for like a quick glance to see what how our batteries are doing.
These are our lights, so if you select this one, it turns the lights on, and then this one is for the top light and the bottom light.
So if you see here, we have two outlets in the van. We have a GFCI, and then the other one is GFCI protected as well. You can wire them so that the first one protects the second one. 4 outlets have been good. We haven't needed more than that. We just figured with our computers and our phone, it just works out fine. And then on the far right, you'll see the switch for the inverter. So when you want to turn the outlets on, you just flip the switch, and then it turns the inverter on, and it gives us a reading of what our batteries are at. And it also tells you how much you're drawing at the time.
This piece of wood is actually our table, so what we do is we just lift it up. Sometimes you gotta move your legs out of the way, but that's fine. And then there's this little leg here. It folds out and just goes down. Brandon and I can both work here at the same time. It works out pretty well.
Yep, and we made it to fit exactly, so it folds down and then it kind of rests in there on the floor. And under the table we have a little mini library, some movies, and books.
You gotta have a repair manual.
Yeah, you gotta have the repair manual. So that's her brother's painting. He gave it to us as a gift, and we found a place to hang it, and it helps keep the foam in.
This thing in here. This kind of tells you the words. So there's 4 words, and it tells you how long they are. So you have to follow the path. So this one goes this way, and then you can go from here. You can go this way, this way, this way, or that way.
Yeah. So if you can figure out what the puzzle is, leave it in the comment section below.
So if you notice that we have our divider in here, this came with the van, so we decided to keep it in here. I don't know if we would have actually bought a divider if it didn't come with the vehicle, but we like this a lot. It keeps it private. We have insulation on the divider, so it keeps it nice and warm back here. And we do notice a difference when we go to the front. So what we do is we just open it and we climb on through. This is my side of the van. This is where I sit, right in the passenger seat. That's Brandon's side. He's the driver. This is what the front of our van looks like. It just looks like a normal work van. We didn't do much with the front of our van. It just is typically what it looked like when we got it. The only thing we did change is we put this backup camera in here, which has helped a lot. It's helped us just from backing up. It's really hard to see when you're in the van backing up, so it's like really helped us not hit things when we back up.
Yeah. I think I backed over a bike or something when we first got the van.
Before we had this.
Before we had it. And since then, it's probably saved me at least 10 times. So
here's the back of our van.
So this is the reason for not putting our bed lower. We have 2 bins that slide out. And then on the far right side, we have our tools and stuff. We'll show you. You can slide that out. Yeah, it's really heavy.
So we're on a slant.
We're on a slant, so she's pulling it uphill.
Anyway, that usually slides pretty good. Well, we also made a little kind of compartment for other stuff, and in this one, we'll show you what's in here. So this one, same kind of thing. This just has all of our tools that we usually need.
So there's like a bunch of screws and stuff, and we have our multimeter, some gloves, just odds and ends tools that wouldn't really fit in the bigger bins in the back. I'm going to show you what's on the roof. We have 400-watt solar panels, and then our 2 roof vents. The roof rack does a pretty good job at hiding them. And we found that 400 watts and the 220 amp hours battery work pretty well.